So he put his hands on females, put his hands on producers, executives. That's just his. I guess that's what the whole name Bad Boy comes from. That people don't really understand. What is it? What is a bad boy? Why did he choose that name? Like he never really gave a clear definition of how he feels about that name. Not yet.
It all exploded from one wild post by YE that nobody saw coming. Not a track, not a rant, an accusation. He flat out claimed Kim Kardashian should be arrested for what she allegedly did to Bieber. The moment those words hit the internet, it was like dropping a bomb at Diddy's parties. Instant chaos in a world already shaken by his federal case. For months, the music scene had been holding its breath after those shocking March 2024 raids on Diddy's Miami and LA homes. But YE's new claim? It pushed everything into darker, dirtier territory, dragging Kim straight into the center of a storm that just won't die. Let's rewind a bit. When federal agents stormed Diddy's homes last March, it wasn't just another Hollywood raid. It looked like a full-on war zone. Witnesses said armored trucks rolled up to the mansion while neighbors filmed agents hauling out box after box of evidence. The FBI later confirmed it was part of a massive, multi-state trafficking investigation that had been building for months. According to lawsuits, Diddy's so-called freak-off parties weren't just over-the-top celebrity events. They allegedly involved coercion, hidden cameras, and people who were barely at the legal age line. By late spring, a grand jury in New York had hit the music mogul with serious charges: racketeering, transport across state lines for immoral purposes, and more. Reporters were comparing him to Jeffrey Epstein and R. Kelly, and legal experts were warning he might never walk free again. But then Ye threw gasoline on it all with that post. His claim about Kim wasn't just celebrity drama. It was a bombshell suggestion of complicity. If there's any truth...
He broke Kim, let's say allegedly, but it was told by people in her camp that he broke Kim's nose on a yacht. So Cassie's story is Kim's story. Cassie's book is Kim's book.
Behind what he implied, it could completely flip the public's idea of Hollywood's most picture-perfect family. Kim's quiet moves before and after those raids suddenly look way too strategic to be random. Just weeks before federal agents stormed Diddy's homes, she hit that unfollow button on him, something that barely got noticed back then. But looking back now, that simple act of digital distance feels less like coincidence and more like damage control. The evidence tied to Diddy's so-called gatherings is wild. Neighbors in Los Angeles talked about fleets of black cars showing up around 3 a.m., women in swimwear waiting at the gates, and one viral clip even caught a man yelling from a Bentley that buses of minors were being dropped off at the mansion. The FBI never confirmed that exact scene, but court filings from late 2023 tell a chilling story. Victims allegedly lured in, transported across states, and kept quiet through threats and hush money. It all started unraveling with Cassie Ventura's lawsuit back in November 2023, the first to drop the now infamous term freak off. Weeks later, another woman came forward claiming she was assaulted at 17 by Diddy and 2 of his associates. Each new filing made the picture darker, exposing a pattern of manipulation dressed up as luxury nightlife. Now, Kim Kardashian's name wasn't listed in those early lawsuits, but her ties to Diddy's inner circle? Undeniable. On old clips from her family's show, Khloe bragged about hitting one of Diddy's 2014 parties, calling it half naked.
You don't feel this way. This Kim Kardashian devoted her life to something, but it certainly wasn't the pursuit of academic excellence. She didn't even go to college.
Even mentioning that Justin Bieber, barely 20 at the time, was there too. Photos from that same night still float online. Kim, Khloe, and Kylie glowing in silver beside Diddy, all smiles and champagne. It was peak Hollywood meets hip-hop energy when fame was power and morals barely mattered. Now that federal agents are digging through years of hidden footage, those old party photos aren't just memories anymore. They're evidence of who was close to who. Every smile, every selfie, every guest list is suddenly part of a massive investigation. Meanwhile, Justin Bieber, the kid who once called Diddy a mentor, has stayed completely silent, and that silence is starting to speak louder than words. Sources close to him told In Touch earlier this year that he doesn't really want to talk publicly about his time around Diddy, but he might not have a choice soon. That hesitation says a lot. When Bieber was just 15, Diddy was caught on camera promising him a Lamborghini, bragging that they'd spent 48 hours together that weekend. The clip's still online for anyone to see. Back then, it looked like mentorship, an older star guiding the next big thing. But now, after everything that's been exposed, that video feels way more unsettling. Bieber has opened up over the years about his struggles with substances and mental health, and people are starting to wonder if those scars run deeper than fans ever knew. Maybe he's holding on to memories that don't fit the squeaky clean story the industry built for him. His silence feels heavy, but Kim's silence? That one looks calculated. West's accusation hits exactly at that pressure point. The timing, the quiet, and their shared closeness to a man now facing serious federal convictions. Insiders from YE's camp claim he believes Kim wasn't just another guest at those parties, but someone actively involved in Diddy's web of power and influence. There's no confirmed proof backing that up yet, but the rumor has been circling entertainment law circles since early 2025. Allegedly, sealed court documents mention a high-profile female associate who attended multiple gatherings that were later described as illegal in leaked excerpts seen by reporters. Kim's every move lately feels like it's been carefully choreographed. She hasn't said a single word directly about the Diddy mess, keeping her focus on her Hulu show and her so-called health updates, including that shocking reveal about a brain aneurysm she blamed on stress from her divorce with YE. But even that story feels like part of a bigger strategy to steer attention away from the storm closing in around her. Then came her new lawsuit against Ray J, claiming defamation after he hinted that the Kardashians were being watched by federal investigators. That move added even more heat. Ray J's wild claim that they were worse than Diddy once sounded like bitter drama, but now it's starting to sound like a warning people should have taken seriously. During that same live stream, he said, "The feds is coming." Back then, everyone laughed it off, but today, those words echo like prophecy.
Speaking of Kim Porter, because you knew Kim Porter, is it true that Diddy broke her nose?
Bust the nose, man.
By late summer 2025, as Diddy sat in New York waiting on sentencing, prosecutors quietly dropped supplemental evidence from Homeland Security raids, encrypted drives reportedly filled with videos of celebrity guests in situations that have yet to see daylight. None of it's been released publicly, but the rumors online have gone wild. Social media users claim some of the file names flash initials tied to major A-listers, sparking theories that a few massive reputations are about to shatter. Legal experts keep warning that initials mean nothing. But with Kim's sudden distance and Bieber's clear discomfort around that same circle, it's getting harder to believe it's all just coincidence. And it doesn't stop there. Usher, another of Diddy's one-time proteges, admitted he lived with the mogul as a teen and saw things that didn't make sense back then. Former bodyguards have come forward with disturbing stories of grooming, while even mainstream outlets now report that Usher refuses to let his own kids near anything that even resembles what people used to call puffy camp. That's saying a lot. Within this growing storm, the real question isn't just who showed up at those parties, but who knew what was really happening. YE's cryptic post might be more than a random outburst. It could be his way of dragging that uncomfortable truth out into the open. Maybe he's using his massive platform to shine a light on what others only dare whisper about behind sealed court files and NDAs. Insiders tied to the ongoing federal investigation are whispering that the leaks about a female associate are 100% real. According to them, some of that redacted evidence might soon be unsealed as part of new witness cooperation deals. And if that happens, the story could flip overnight. For the first time ever, Kim's clean image as a law student and justice advocate could collide head-on with a criminal network prosecutors claim ran more than 15 years deep in the entertainment world. Filled with manipulation, power games, and exploitation, but you can trace the tension building if you look close enough. First came that subtle unfollow, Kim cutting Diddy off on social media back in March. Then Justin Bieber vanished from the spotlight for months, barely posting anything. And somewhere in between, the Kardashian family quietly edited out every Diddy mention from old episodes of their show's archives. None of that screams guilt on its own, but together, it paints a picture of people pulling away before the fallout. Even Ray J, who used to clown the Kardashians every chance he got, has switched up his tone. In recent interviews, he told reporters that people are still trying to process what those parties really were. That sudden shift from mockery to caution says a lot. This is exactly how every huge Hollywood scandal starts. First denial, then confusion, right before the receipts drop. And those receipts might already be out there. In early October, leaked transcripts from a sealed witness interview surfaced online. They mention a recording labeled February 2014, Calabasas/Atlanta private residence. That date and description perfectly match the same wild night Khloe once described on air as half naked, with Bieber in attendance. Those same transcripts also mention a female celebrity known for reality TV and law studies, a line that sent reporters and investigators into a frenzy trying to confirm who was actually there that night. And if the initials on that file really do line up with Kim's, it would be the first direct link between her and the federally confirmed events surrounding Diddy's underground network. To make things even more complicated, the timing of Kim's recent health scare couldn't have been worse. Just as prosecutors were finalizing Diddy's sentencing, Kim broke down on her reality show, revealing that doctors had found a small brain aneurysm. On camera, she said it came from all the stress tied to her divorce and her ongoing tension with YE. In tears, she told viewers, "It's just stress." As the spotlight keeps tightening around Kim, that stress she keeps talking about is starting to look way heavier than just emotional burnout. It's beginning to feel like the kind of pressure that builds when long-buried secrets start catching up, and with constant whispers that her name might show up in sealed evidence connected to Diddy's now notorious gatherings, well, that would make anyone's calm start to crack. For years, Kim's entire brand has been built on protection, protecting her kids, her family, and her billion-dollar image. She went viral defending North's fake tattoos and piercings, brushing it off as no big deal. She styled herself as the cool modern mom, free-spirited, confident, in control. But when you hold that image up against what's coming out of this investigation, the contrast hits hard. Think about it. The young stars who once circled Diddy's world, Justin Bieber at just 15, Usher at 14, all caught in that same flashy network of late-night parties that Kim attended as a full-grown celebrity. She's always been vocal about guarding her own kids' innocence online, but when it comes to what might have gone down at those infamous epic nights she bragged about years ago, total silence. And that silence is starting to eat away at how the public sees her when the reality show lights go dark. Then there's Ray J, someone who's seen the Kardashian machine up close and personal. He recently told News Nation that a lot of people in the industry had no idea what was really going on behind Diddy's doors. On the surface, it sounded like he was trying to protect Kim, almost like he didn't want to pile on. But insiders tied to the federal probe are saying something completely different. According to people with direct knowledge of the case, investigators are now looking into whether Kim's role went beyond simply showing up at those events. One associate, who allegedly worked with event planners for Diddy's 2014 parties, claimed that Kim's own team handled appearance coordination for multiple celebrity guests, including Bieber himself. If that's true, it shifts her from innocent bystander to active player in Diddy's star-studded ecosystem. Witnesses say Bieber was seen leaving one of those gatherings that same year looking visibly shaken. And while there's still no concrete proof that Kim orchestrated anything illegal, the pieces fit together a little too neatly. Ye keeps dropping hints about that 2009 moment when Bieber publicly thanked Diddy for the Lamborghini after they'd spent 48 hours together. Then there's that wild 2014 weekend Khloe bragged about on air, and Kim's suspicious unfollowing of Diddy right before federal agents kicked in his doors. When you line up those moments, they don't look random, they form a pattern that's way too deliberate to ignore. And strangely enough, YE has been calm about it all. That's rare for him. No public outbursts, no messy live streams, just quiet moves behind the scenes. Insiders say he's building something real this time. According to sources close to his legal team, YE's lawyers are preparing to file official court documents that reference Kim's alleged involvement in what they're now calling Diddy's social network. This isn't another social media stunt. It's said to be part of an official legal motion, filed not as defamation, but as defense disclosure connected to other ongoing lawsuits. Basically, it's a strategic play designed to protect YE legally while forcing the truth into daylight. If that filing hits the court system, it could flip the whole narrative on its head. Kim might be legally required to testify under oath about where she was, who she met, and what she actually knew. That would drag the story out of the gossip blogs and straight into the courtroom, a shift that could redefine her entire image overnight. But maybe the most unsettling part isn't even legal, it's emotional. Look at the timeline. Kim's aneurysm scare, her split from YE, her constant push to appear calm, collected, and maternal. It all follows a familiar Kardashian crisis cycle, a personal meltdown followed by polished narrative control. On Hulu, we see the soft lighting, the tears, the confessional moments where she looks vulnerable but strong. In real life, we're watching legal filings, sealed records, and silence. Kim's going full legal mode, suing Ray J for calling her worse than Diddy, even though his wild warning that the feds are coming is starting to sound almost prophetic. Her team keeps insisting there's no federal investigation touching her name, but whispers are spreading fast about joint inquiry teams quietly comparing witness lists from Diddy's grand jury evidence to celebrity networks out in Los Angeles. It's still unclear if Kim's name shows up anywhere in those files, but one insider close to the case reportedly told a journalist last month that investigators were looking into a high-profile reality star for possible obstruction tied to deleted communications between party organizers and celebrity attendees. That kind of talk has everyone watching her every move. The emotional tension behind all this is intense. You can feel it. There's this sharp divide between public Kim, the camera-ready advocate fighting for justice reform, and private Kim, allegedly panicking behind the scenes about her phone records being subpoenaed. On screen, she's calm, centered, and composed. But off-screen, people close to the situation say the pressure's breaking through her perfect image. And then there's Ye. Love him or hate him, he's a master at forcing uncomfortable truths into the open. When he blasted online that she needs to be arrested, most people brushed it off as bitterness. But now that same statement sounds less like revenge and more like a warning, maybe even a threat backed by evidence he's been holding for years. Let's not forget, Ye was deep in that same Hollywood world too. He and Kim both attended Diddy's legendary parties when they were at their peak, lavish, chaotic, and crawling with A-listers. If anyone truly knows what went down behind those gated mansions, it's him! And the timeline connecting it all is chilling in how perfectly it lines up. Back in 2009, a teenage Justin Bieber filmed himself with Diddy, bragging about a wild weekend together. By 2010, he was spotted behind the wheel of Diddy's white Lamborghini. Fast forward to 2014, and Chloe's on TV describing a night where half the people were naked, and confirming Bieber was there too. Kim's own social media from that same weekend shows she was in the mix, shining in those same circles. Then jump ahead to early 2025, when leaked court files describe a female associate attending those very same Atlanta sessions, with initials that suspiciously match Kim's. And now Ye claims he's sitting on proof, evidence linking Kim's presence to an incident that allegedly left Bieber emotionally scarred. No one knows what kind of proof he's talking about yet. Videos, texts, maybe even first-hand accounts. But the fact that his lawyers are already drafting official motions suggests this isn't just online chatter anymore. Something big is moving behind closed doors, and when it surfaces, it could turn Hollywood's polished facade completely upside down. We've got to look at what all this really means for Justin Bieber. He's never publicly accused anyone, but he's also never stepped up to defend Diddy, and that says a lot. His statement, shared through an insider that he doesn't want to talk publicly about their relationship, feels less like neutrality and more like quiet avoidance. Fans haven't forgotten his own words from back in the day, when he admitted that the industry was full of people who prey on your insecurities. That hits different now. Maybe Bieber's chosen peace over confrontation, especially since marriage and faith have helped stabilize him, but that silence only adds to the mystery. What did he see? Could Kim have witnessed something that Bieber can't bring himself to repeat? Or worse, was she part of the machinery that kept him quiet all these years? The question alone sends chills. We've seen this Hollywood script before: denials, lawsuits, staged vulnerability, selective transparency, but beneath the glossy cover, it always builds toward the same thing: a reckoning. Kim's recent brain scans might be more than just a health update. They could be the physical price of carrying knowledge she can't speak out loud. Meanwhile, YE's unpredictable swings, from fiery outbursts to eerie calm, might not be instability at all. People close to him say it's strategy, that he's carefully managing how and when to drop what he believes is an explosive secret. His silence lately doesn't look weak, it looks planned. Even Ray J's sudden shift in tone now feels like a coded warning. When he said people were still digesting the truth, maybe that was his subtle way of hinting that insiders already know what's coming, and it's too heavy to say outright. If the rumors are real, if there truly are recordings showing multiple stars, with Kim among them, then we might be looking at the first Kardashian scandal that can't be edited away. This isn't a PR crisis you can cry through on Hulu. This could be the kind of meltdown that flips the entire celebrity power structure on its head. And here's the part nobody's saying out loud: power protects itself until the day it doesn't. The same high-powered entertainment lawyers who built the Kardashian empire are now rumored to be helping the family craft emergency strategies behind the scenes. That alone says everything. Behind the scenes, negotiations are happening, deals are being made, and reputations are getting quietly buried before the headlines can explode. But this time, the leaks won't stop. And YE? He looks determined to make sure this truth never gets buried again. So where does that leave us now? We've got a shattered marriage turned into a legal battlefield, a global pop star too scared scarred or too scarred to speak, and a powerful mogul already locked up, with files that might still hold names big enough to shake Hollywood to its core. If even half of what insiders are hinting at proves true, those recordings could change everything. Kim's empire, perfectly built, flawlessly branded, endlessly polished, could be standing right on the edge of collapse. Ye's warning that she needs to be arrested might sound wild today, but what if those sealed recordings turn out to be real? What if he's not bluffing at all, but just waiting for the exact moment to drop everything? We'll be watching every legal move, every leaked document, every suspicious unfollow, because if those files ever go public, the question won't just be whether Kim Kardashian attended Diddy's parties, it'll be what she did while she was there. Could YE actually be holding the kind of proof that forces Kim back into a spotlight she's been desperately trying to dodge? The thought alone is explosive. Let's talk about it. What do you think is really going on? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit that like button if you're following the story, subscribe to stay locked in as we track every update, and don't forget to share this with someone who's been keeping tabs on the Diddy scandal. Stay tuned. This story is far from over. See you in the next one, and keep your eyes open and your curiosity sharper than ever.